Hello guys, and welcome back to Power and Revolution 2019 edition with our Chinese playthrough here. Last episode we mostly focused on recovering after the battle of, the War of Taiwan, and kind of getting it more up to snuff, getting rid of a lot of the excess military bases, which are still dismantling. We've actually increased the amount of soldiers we have by a good amount to try to keep our army guys happy, because we dismantled all the older tech stuff we got from Taiwan because I want our troops to be very efficient. I threw more missile launchers in. We also found that Russia has enough money and likes us enough to be willing to set up these train lines in between our country, which is good for the economy in the long run, and a number of other things, especially since if I do plan on invading Russia, it won't be anytime soon. So I do have another idea. I found this city right here. It's not the largest, but it's close to the capital, relatively close, which has of Mongolia, which has a decent amount of individuals as well. And I was looking basically up and down the border to try to find good mixes or justifications for this. So this is the only one I found. So I'm going to see whether or not they'll approve this too. It's also going to be pretty expensive. As you can see, I'm going to be paying like over 6 billion. The overall project cost is around 10 billion. Russia's going to be paying less than half of it because less than half of it's on their side. But I'm going to send this over to them and see if they approve this. Another way to kind of boost. Again, it sucks that you can't use roads anymore like you could in the previous games. Only high-speed rails. But I mean, whatever, I guess. I'll take it. Better than nothing. If I do find any more like good opportunities for this, I'll let you know. But like right now, there's nothing that really sticks out as worth it. There's no cities that are as big that I can necessarily connect. Closest thing, I guess, would be here to here. And this looks a lot longer on our side if we take a look here. Yeah, we'd be paying almost 10 billion. So if we are going to do that, we'll get to it later. I could also connect here. This is smaller. The effect wouldn't quite be as pronounced. Okay, so Russia said no to the high-speed rail network, but we do know some potentially good locations for this. If they're not going to do that one, I might as well try this other one, because while it's a little more costly, paying the price at once wouldn't be so bad. And they are more likely to accept this one because they barely have to pay anything. Theoretically, they are also paying for like this, so they just might not want to do two at once. Oh, they like me more right now. Jesus Christ. Well, we'll see if they accept this one. This is a bigger city. This is a similarly large city. They might be more willing to do this one, but we will see. And then if they do take this one, then once these finish, we can go try that other one and maybe some others again. Okay, so the project was accepted, although it says it was accepted by Vietnam. Okay. But it says the project was accepted, great for national tourism. We will benefit fully from this infrastructure regarding our relations. Exceptional quality will significantly contribute to people's closer. Okay. The cities chosen for the train stations are not great choices. There was more significant need elsewhere. That probably has something to do with the fact that these are in the same province, and I'm connecting them both to some new things, but that is fine by me. We are connecting these, and I'm happy with it. It's also because this area of theirs is not very well developed, but I'm not trying to min-max here. I'm just trying to introduce more opportunities for constant commerce, because that helps maintain your growth. It helps maintain your economy when you open things up like that. So I guess this is a little progress update. We just got 100 helicopters delivered that we've ordered a long time ago. And we got a report saying that about 10% of the cars in our country now are electric. When I started the game, they were like 0%. Of course, there's not many cars in our country. The amount's been going up. Like, this is the number of cars per inhabitant. It started at around 0.021. That's such a low number, it's hard to even visualize. And as you can see, it's barely gone up by like 0.03, or yeah, if even that. It's been going up very slowly. Of course, I haven't been throwing money into it to try to encourage it to grow currently. But the number of electric vehicles, percentage-wise, is up to 10% without me doing anything. I even took away subsidies for that kind of thing. And the self-driving vehicles from 0 is up to 1.7%. So that's also really good. Electric is good because, well, I mean, it consumes less pollution kind of things, and pollution can cause natural disasters and some other issues in this game. And yeah, it consumes more electricity though. Although our electricity is doing just fine. It's literally never having a problem. I could dismantle stuff. The onshore wind is just so overpowered. If I placed, some more of these, I could probably, if I put a full wholehearted effort into it, completely dismantle all of our fossil energy if I really, really wanted to. Just got another one of those, kidnapping events that literally doesn't do anything. So this is confirmed at this point. It's a bug, and it's going to repeat until the end of this playthrough at this rate. But we just got another donation for the famine. It always seems to be the same amount every single time that it happens. Always about the same amount. I hate that I have to pay this off, man. I really hate it. Because it's just so expensive. Well, we're doing fine on money right now, and I'd rather get this over with sooner rather than later. So let's throw, like 50 billion. Let's just throw 50 fucking billion into this. Oof, that hurts, doesn't it? And I don't know why the government contribution list doesn't... Oh, I know why, because it's counting stuff we got in a donation as well. That goes here, and the money that came out of our pocket that wasn't sent to us goes here. I forgot that's how that worked. I wish I remembered that last episode. That being said, we're closer to our goal here. I'm going to wait and see how that affects our budget really before doing any more of that. I'm spending a lot of money right now, in fact. Speaking of spending money, let's find another industry that we could potentially buy out here. Okay, so this isn't worth very much. The tobacco industry, it's worth about 11.15 billion. I'm going to go ahead and buy some shares in that to further start to slightly, partially nationalize our industries. Yeah, here's that event. Journalists kidnapped in Syria by Syrian Brethren of Islam terrorist group. But it doesn't do anything. It's not actually happening. I don't get it. This is an event I don't think I see very much. 2 of our guys just got the Nobel Prize, which I think is supposed to be pretty important. I think you can see it here, in fact. Yes, number of Nobel Prizes. The USA has almost 400, but we have 10. We're above the world average. That's pretty cool, I guess. I don't know what it affects other than maybe making people happy. We also got another 100 of our helicopters delivered, so that's good. A lot of the stuff we've been ordering has been starting to come in. Growth actually went up to like 5.1% earlier, due to probably a number of the things I'm doing, and it's starting to go back down. I'm gonna go ahead and we're about to cross over into the next part of the year. I'm gonna go ahead and just order another 100 of these missile launchers anyway, just to get it into the final check of the year before we see next year's calculations. Wednesday the 14th. Famine. Speaking of famine, I checked out our finances. Everything seems to be going pretty well, so I'm gonna just double down in this a little more, and I'm gonna throw 100 billion into this, like this right here. It hurts to spend that much because I think like my surplus for a year, like an entire year, is not even supposed to be that much. Like we're talking like I have to spend more than a year's worth of budget excess in order to pay this off. God damn, Taiwan, why couldn't you just have enough food? What, is it hard to grow food when half your island's a mountain or something? Well, we now have the possibility to cyber attack Brunei, and one thing I've realized about this is I don't actually know how to get troops down here. Like, this is Malaysian territory. I'd have to sail through Malaysian territory in order to attack Brunei, so what I'm going to do for right now is I'm going to go to my networks here, and I'm going to, where are they? Brunei. I'm going to bring these guys down to 5 as well, and we're going to take their agents and just reassign them for the time being, because we can cyber attack them whenever we want. We don't necessarily need anything else. We just need a way to get through Malaysia, by like if we actually do want to attack them. You can see what kind of effect that doing that aid donation has had. My budget excess for the entire year is down by another 100 billion. So this quarter is probably going to come up negative because it is going to cost more money than we have in order to get this done. But now that I've confirmed exactly how this is going to work, I think we can just try to pay the rest of this off right now, honestly. So this is going to work weirdly. So I'm going to do this one in 2 different donations-ish. So we're going to do 150 billion right now. I haven't spent this much money on anything else in the game, I swear. And now we're going to do 24 billion. And it's gone. It's paid off. Thank God. So that should hopefully get the Taiwanese, those living in Taiwan, back on their feet. Should help them not keep them in poverty or starving or whatever the hell. That's all taken care of. We don't need to worry about that anymore. And hopefully I can leave that, just awful, awful shit behind me. Oh yeah, and I got some nationalization stuff. We're going to see this budget excess plummet here in a moment. Well, my Minister for Health just died. I just got an alert that she's going to have a funeral. He's going to have a funeral. So I guess I need a new Minister for Health. So let's just appoint, I guess it could be anybody, right? Government. Is this the way I want to do this? No. I can see all my moles here. That's funny. Can I make a mole? Hello? I can take a mole from another country and can I actually put them in my cabinet? That sounds awful, in fact. I guess I'll just take some generic politician from the party in power here. You, Hong Dong. You got a memeable name, so I'll just put you there. And we see we've passed over in the new year, 4.98% growth. Our GDP may have just passed the United States. Let's take a look. GDP. Yeah, we now have the largest economy in the entire world. We just passed the United States. Our percentage of the world's share almost seems lower, strangely. At least compared to this, but this might just be a bug. Even though, yeah, no, it started down here. I don't know why that's all fucked up then. This game has a lot of bugs. But we have now 20.6% of the world's GDP. We are the largest economy in the entire world. And as a side note, the price of oil in OPEC has been going up, which is surprising considering I feel like I'm completely flooding the world market with oil. I don't know how that works. You know, theoretically there should be an aspect of supply and demand, but I've been selling so much more oil, you'd think that the price of it would start to plummet, which, I mean, it might. OPEC's prices are actually pretty shitty. Like, they're very low at the start of the game. I don't know. Either way, we're doing good. We're doing pretty well. All right, we got some more unhealthy houses. I think I've already done this. I've already done this, so no. I don't want you to do that for me. There's the funeral for the person that I'm literally attending right now. And finally, we take a look at that little cash surplus here. And again, every year it says 1.8 trillion. So, but it's not. That's not what it is. Now we're showing a crazy-ass budget excess, though. I don't think we actually made money. So these reports, these end-of-year reports, clearly are just going to be wrong all the time. Because we spent more money than we made because, as you can see, our treasury is lower, and I just spent a whole bunch of money. Although I guess this is our projected yearly excess, and it's actually looking amazing. Like, our sources of income have clearly been going up. Oh, shit. Pope Francis died. That's kind of sad. I remember the Pope before Pope Francis. That's the one I actually grew up with. I went to Catholic school, so I heard all about him. And the leader of, so many leaders, I don't usually point it out, but so many leaders in this game have actually been deposed already. It's pretty crazy. Our current growth projection is actually 5.23%, which is kind of awesome. Unemployment's still holding a solid 4%. I don't actually know why this is. You'd think with so much growth it'd be going down, but really I'm just chalking it up to all the new individuals joining the workforce. There's a couple things I can do about it, but 4% not really bothering me. I don't really need to change anything about it, and our growth is so high already. It feels fine, honestly. I'm very happy with it, especially with our inflation being so low. It could go up a whole nother percent and I'd be fine with it. And it's only going up 0.01% every month or few months. What is this? National says fall purchasing power. Malls facing strong competition from the ethical goods markets. Ethical goods markets? What the hell does that mean? The president of, or whatever you call him, prime minister of Japan, he's really popular with his people, and he isn't giving me much to work with in terms of the UN. So I'm going to release the information I have on him financing terrorists in order to maybe back him in a wall, get him deposed, and get someone else put in that might act up a bit more. Because it's been years, and he's really not giving me much to work with here. And if he's that well liked, the chances of him actually giving me something to work with, I don't think are that high. Same thing with the leader of India here. He's like still the real life leader. He's very popular. All he's done is finance some like probably democratic resistance parties. I'm going to make his scandals public as well, and we'll see if we can hurt their image, maybe get them to do some crazier things. Alright, that's Japan.
Off we go.
Alright, that's India. Cool. So we'll keep an eye on their heads of states. Maybe we'll get some that are more willing to do terrible things and get in trouble, because they're a pretty open nation. So the fact that they have 100% popularity means that they're not really acting up. We want these countries to have leaders that act up so that we can maybe get some permission to attack them. Otherwise, I mean, we might just attack them anyway. India, I've been looking at India realizing their capital's not as far away as I thought it was. For some reason, I thought it was like down here. I was wrong. It's actually over here. And if we go here and we compare, like, look at how close it is to our country. Shock and awe would actually work against India. And that's kind of crazy if you think about it. I don't even know. It would be hard. It would be very hard to try to absorb all of India in one go. Its population is almost equivalent to ours. Its GDP is gigantic. It would actually be kind of terrifying to do so. But I'm very tempted to do it even without permission. Because, well, shock and awe is going to work. And as time goes on, I'm running out of options where shock and awe will work just because of borders and such. Bangladesh is on the table. In fact, I think of what I'm going to do right now, because I still have moles in these countries, that's not going to change. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go to the correct screen. I'm going to go to Manage Networks. And we're going to go to India, change it to cyber attack. We're going to go to Bangladesh, change it to cyber attack, say fuck it to the UN. Who cares if we take some warmonger penalties? Because I have so much shit I can do to fix my popularity if need be. I have so many things that I can improve spending on, like the environment tab, the health tab, the education tab, and I have money to do so. So I'm going to actually prepare some of these cyber attacks and get ready for some unjust wars, because the downside of playing as one of the bad countries of the world is your opponents don't tend to actually act up, especially ones that are trying to be better, like, you know, India. And even when they do act up, you're not guaranteed to get proof on them. So while we are playing a country that has the privilege of being on the permanent section of the Security Council, we might as well take advantage of it, focus on being the bad guys we are if our good boy opponents aren't going to give us the information we need to succeed. Look at that. He already suffered a 19% popularity hit, and he suffered a 30% popularity hit. That's hilarious. This is the ecologist group's sit-in. Yo, the ecologists are literally always telling me what a good job I'm doing. Why are you being a dickhead? My television appearance was at least well received. Apparently this demonstration is illegal from the get-go, which doesn't surprise me. I don't know exactly what would do that, but this is an association. If we go to associations, the only thing we can do is make them dependent from the state. But I guess this is just illegal to begin with. I appeared on television. I'm going to give them like a week or so before maybe sending in the police if I need to. Regardless, it shouldn't cause much of an issue. The next industry I'm going to purchase some shares in is actually going to be the wood industry here. And while this does cost money up front, we have plenty of money sitting around up front, so even the more expensive ones we should be able to basically absorb. But what this will do is it will increase our money over time as well. So this will kind of pay for itself in the long run.
The participants of the sit-in used verbal abuse against our men and insulted the government. I fear that the situation
verbal abuse and insulted the government, so he fears the situation will deteriorate. You know, that's funny because here in the US, that's what half the country does anyway. You meet anybody that votes a certain way, and I'm not going to say which way, and I guarantee you they have some pretty nasty shit to say about this country. Imagine if that was reason to justify calling in the police. What is this? Is this on my side of the border? No, I don't have any terrorists. Why is this appearing here? Kashmir? What? I think this is Indian, not mine.
Nothing new with...
Movement is still there. Nothing's changing. Well, if nothing's changing 6 days in fact, it looks like the number of demonstrators has increased. I'm going to go ahead and send in the police. Consequences, size, how many participants there are, how professional experienced the police are. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and order police intervention. And hey, look, we got 20 of those missile launchers already. That's awesome. Let's break it up with the police. The police, I haven't put a lot of attention into the police, and that's not always a good thing. You know, it says something about their professionalism and their training. I don't think there's a way to increase their training, though. If you're, like, looking around here, I don't think there's a way to increase training. There's budget guidelines. I'm not sure that counts, though. We should increase some police spending, however, to make them more effective. Minus 0.05. We're still at 100%, though, so clearly that didn't do anything. Sit in. We intervened to evict them. The demonstration dissolved, but a true bloodbath, 8 dead on both sides. That's really not that bad. I wouldn't call that a true bloodbath at all. We should increase some funding to police here. I'm not sure to where, but somewhere. That's expensive. Ooh, boy. What drug task force would theoretically not be too expensive? Cybersecurity task force could save our country a lot of money. That would be one place to increase spending. Public safety costs a lot. That's the reason why I never bothered with this stuff earlier, is because it costs a good amount of money. Maybe I'll try to get it kind of like some sort of baseline for it. Where could that baseline start? Maybe right here. Local district police, that could probably help with some things. Let's get this up to there as well. This. Ooh, this is already getting pricey. Look at this. That's like 60 billion. Yeah, I don't want to do that all in one go, because this isn't a one-off like payment. This is cumulative. Like, this is constantly paid for. So let's increase local district police, the cybersecurity task force. That should increase their effectiveness. That should make our country a little safer, some less crime. It's been a little bit since I put up another space program, so let's get one of these going. There's another moon to Mars that we haven't looked at yet. Deimos, I believe it is. Correct. And we can do a very nice and cheap orbital probe, just something to keep it going since I haven't been paying much attention to it for a while. We will set the total budget to, let's say, 550 million. And Deimos probe, just nice and simple. Create that and we'll see who applies. Got another industry here which I can very easily buy some minority shareholder status in, and that's coffee. Surprisingly, coffee. You'd think coffee would be a pretty big industry. Turns out, our population doesn't seem to drink a lot of coffee, and thus we don't actually make a lot of coffee. We make over twice as much, almost 3 times as much as we did at the start of the playthrough, but we still make almost none of it. Look, not even 1% of the world's total. If we look at that production-wise, we'll find it's actually Brazil. Brazil and then Vietnam. Oh, that would explain why we don't need to make very much. Even if we didn't make enough, we could import it literally from over the border in Vietnam. Our growth is finally starting to recede a little bit, down to 4.61%, which is already, by the way, it's still very high. It's not like this is a low growth number. So that's not anything to worry about. It's just been holding around or over 5% for so long. I'm kind of happy to finally see it starting to recede.
The decree takes effect.
We've gone ahead and purchased another part of the economy, essentially. And I will look for another now. I have chosen one for 21.6 billion. We will buy shares in the banana industry, which seems to be doing all right. I've just found 3 air bases. Oh god, 2 naval bases right next to each other, but like 3 air bases over here that are about right next to each other. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fix this up right now. I'm not sure what manner I'm going to fix it up. With this here, we don't need this here, so we could put them over here actually. So I'm going to do that. Let's send these boys. Okay, one at a time. Let's send everyone from this base. I wish I could just select everyone in the base, and maybe you can. Maybe you can, but if you can, I'm not sure how to do that right now. So we're just going to send these boys over the old-fashioned way. What is this? A nuclear... third-generation nuclear power plant. That seems pretty weak for third gen, but I'm not going to disagree with you. We'll dismantle these two right here. Let them all move over there. Bargain concluded. Okay, and now we have a bunch of planes and shit over here. So I'm actually going to move these. Not all of them, but I'm going to move, say... let's move 87, right? 87 of these planes are going to go all the way over here. Although, I don't know how allocation works in this scenario. Oh shit, I just lost selection of them. I don't think fighters can allocate quite the same way everything else can, so we might trespass on some airspace to do this, but I want to get some fighters sent down there. Yeah, they're going to trespass on things. More than likely, they're going to trespass. We don't have fly rights over Papua New Guinea or Japan. We're going to get some indignation reports or whatever the hell they do to complain about it. I just want to get some... Oh my god, I said 87, did I not? I swear to god, I said 87. Apparently I didn't. So 287 are going over there. That's not at all what I meant to do. I guess I could just split them between the other airports. Fuck, I don't know. Here's a base we put too much in earlier. Let's just take 120 out of this one and send it over here for now to make up for my little blunder there. Surprisingly, no indignation for violating Japan's airspace. Usually that happens. So when they get over there, I guess I'll just split them in half and move some of them over to this airbase. The initial funding offers are in. Of course, Russia is the only one offering us anything good to take part in the orbital probe, so we will accept it. 4%, usually more than they offer, and we'll see who applies now. And now to take care of this nonsense. What even is this? Like, this port doesn't need to be here. I don't think I can dismantle port. No, I probably can. If I went to... You know what? Actually, no, I don't think I can. I don't think I can dismantle a port. Can I I know I can dismantle other things. Yeah, no, ports just don't have an ability to dismantle. Having 2 ports here is a little unnecessary. Having 2 naval bases here is definitely unnecessary. So we're gonna move some of this shit. Right or left? I guess left is more on its own. So we're gonna go with left. We're gonna take everything that is right here. There you go, including the helicopters, I guess, and move them over there. And now we should be able to dismantle this naval base, and that should help save us some money, because let's be honest, that was a little unnecessary. Well, we've just had an oil slick, another oil slick, which is, I guess, to be expected with so many oil cargo containers going through here. I don't really think there's anything I can do about that. I'll tell you one thing I am going to do, though. I'm going to go into the Secret Service here, and I'm going to... Whoa, it's not at all what I meant to do. I'm trying to tick this up by, like, literally one at a time here. I want to get, basically, the agent losses we've had since the beginning of the game replenished, which is not going to cost very much money at all. In some of these cases, we're literally talking, like, a total of 7 people we're hiring, basically. And in addition, I want to expand our amount of international agents because I do feel a little limited by it so far. And it seems this little bug I used to have that gave me free agents isn't happening anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and raise it to 300, which if they're in immediately, let's see. No, they're not in immediately. Because I do want to start putting some agents in some other countries, but I don't want to reduce the number from 20, because when it comes time to cyber attack, even with 20, it takes a while. It takes a while to get cyber attacks ready. So I want to make sure that they're ready. It may also have to do with my funding here. It might just be because I'm not funding enough here that it doesn't go as quickly. I could at least increase by 1 star in each of these tabs for now. So I'm not going over the top with my spending, at least. Okay, my fighters have arrived. I'm now going to undo my earlier mistake, kind of, by sending 143, about half of the fighters that were placed here. Yes, I don't see them moving. There they are. Over to this other base. So it's kind of on par with what our other bases have, I guess. But either way, so they'll be set with fighters. I do need to still get infantry to them for when I do plan on using them for invasions, but for now, I will at least have my aerial presence in this area. Alrighty, I'm going to go ahead and purchase shares in the beef industry now. It's only going to be 16 billion. The reason why it's always farming right now is because our farming sectors aren't worth quite as much as a lot of our industries. Think about real life. The most food in the world is not produced in China. It's produced in the US. The most industry in the world is not produced in the US, it's produced in China. So we're real big on industry. So our industry sectors are like, just to get minor shares, we're talking hundreds of billions, hundreds. So I'm trying to stick with the cheaper things for now. I don't think this would be it, but I have been noticing some fluctuations in my growth as well. It was at almost 5% again. It just went back down, which is why I deemed this to be a decent time to continue to buy some shares. I don't know if me purchasing these shares is what's causing the growth, but I just keep seeing it go back and forth, so I'm trying not to overdo it. I'm just going little baby step by baby step, and nothing interesting in the paper. But yeah, guys, I think we got a full episode right here. Just a whole lot of work. I picked out some new war targets. We got some cyber attacks getting going, and yeah, it's been a good progressive little episode for us. I mean, most of them tend to be. We rarely have uneventful episodes. I just feel accomplished after a while, because while you guys are sitting here watching this for 31 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, I'm sitting down here recording from anywhere between 1 to 2 hours. So a lot of work go into these, not to mention I have to edit, render, etc., etc. These are quite the accomplishment for me when I finally get them done. Just a little tidbit of the creative process right there, but thank you guys very much for watching, and I'm going to see you on the next episode. Bye-bye.